The scope of our task today are twofold. One, we want to discuss the unsuccessful attempts to endorse or to accept or to make as a standard the limitations on presidential term limits in the sub-region. I think in 2014, 2015, there was an attempt for ECOWAS to make and adopt this as a standard across the sub-region. It failed. Then recently, on the back of the spate of coups, this matter was again part of the reforms that were proposed by ECOWAS. Again, so far, it looks like it has failed or is failing. The second part of it is to look at how ECOWAS has been dealing with the unconstitutional change of government in Mali and in Guinea and in Burkina Faso, and to ask ourselves, are these strategies going to work? Are they going to return these countries back to democracy?
I do not think that we have done a very good job in our constitutional reform processes of dealing with the question of how power is exercised once a person gets into office. So that some of the old practices have carried into the present era. And so you see that the person comes to office, basically 2 terms, but 2 terms they are still quite authoritarian. And we experience this same culture, even in Ghana. Right? Now, still, I think, even notwithstanding that, I think the argument for term limits is still very much a good one, which is that at least it allows for the opportunity for leadership renewal, right? And leadership renewal creates the prospect that some of this will change.
Yeah, some accountability.
Right? So even if term limits have not done away with bad and undemocratic practices, my answer to that is that it is because term limits alone will not do that. You need more fundamental, constitutional, and even statutory restructuring for that to happen.
Remember when this discussion came up, I have been frantically looking at for the documents, the proposal from ECOWAS, because it is that proposal that we should be interrogating this morning. But unfortunately, we cannot lay hands on that proposal. The question is, until we begin to move to ECOWAS of the people, we have to decide what we want as citizens of the continent. You get few people to decide our fate. They will never decide it in our own interest. Who makes a law to say I'm going to reduce my power? They are not going to do that. So if we're waiting on them to do that, we are waiting in vain. It is the citizens, and I have seen that, it is the citizens who have to call for reforms.
So my answer to the ECOWAS question will be citizenship. And so in 2009, when I was still young and passionate and optimistic, I was a lead consultant for the ECOWAS Vision 2020 team then. And the vision, we entitled it ECOWAS of the People. And the whole Vision 2020 was designed to move ECOWAS from ECOWAS of heads of states to ECOWAS of the people. And we had all these fabulous plans and ideas of how that was going to happen. We are in 2022, 2 years after the deadline, and not a single one of those ideas have been implemented or achieved.
I want to quickly put here, Ghana, your president said he was not interested in third term. Why will he even say that? Nigerian president said he was not interested in third term. Why will he say it? The constitution that brought you to power, you knew before you were so-called elected. At what point did you start thinking that you are no longer, 2 terms is not enough anymore? It pains me about Senegal. In 2012, all of the agitation that went against WADA, now you are back to the same position. So it's absolute power.
Extensive use of incumbency power is a driver or a stimulant for the desire for perpetuity the power in power by the executive. We have been discussing this. We have tried to capture this, not even before this update or review of the current protocol on good governance and democracy. But it's one thing to put something on paper, and another thing to get it, to walk the talk, to get it going. So some other players or actors must come in and give the push. And this is where a gathering like this becomes very, very relevant.